We have so much news to get to, but let's start with this story just into our newsroom.
Yeah, so two local nonprofits will be receiving multi-million dollar grants from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. His Day One Families Fund. Now, Kahale a Keola Homeless Resource Centers, Maui's largest homeless shelter provider, will be receiving a $5 million grant. And new at noon, here's some reaction from Family Promise of Hawaii, which will be receiving $2.5 million.
This is the largest private grant in our organization's history, and it's going to make a big impact in the state's fight to end family homelessness. You know, we believe at Family Promise that family homelessness is one of the most urgent social challenges in the state, and that every child should have a home.
An estimated 1 in 30 young children in Hawaii experience homelessness annually. That's according to the latest federal data. And over 3,200 Hawaii public school students experienced homelessness last year. That's according to the state's data. Both nonprofits that are receiving this money have served thousands of families experiencing homelessness.
My name is Funin Fritz. I never get to tell them this, but this means a lot, what they've done. I think Family Promise is not just a program. It's a God-sent blessing to families like mine.
At today's news briefing, both Governor-elect Josh Green and Mayor Rick Blangiardi were on hand to explain their plans for dealing with homelessness.
Fundamentally, it's too expensive to live in Hawaii if you're in the middle class, can't find a home. So we need to build a lot of housing. Our administration, in partnership with the incredible work that the city and county is doing, and I'll let Mayor reflect on their many projects, is meant to build a lot of housing. And we have a couple things we can do. We can bring in infrastructure and infrastructure dollars from the state side, land from the state side, which we intend to do quite aggressively to put it into the kind of either the TOD housing operations or also through DHHL. That's a whole nother operational side of housing for us, which is $600 million already that we intend to use, again, aggressively to help with the Hawaiian community and their housing. So those are two really big pieces.
So our first piece of legislation that we got passed was Bill 1, what ultimately became Bill 1, which is now beginning to get some real traction. It took us a while to work through, and we're still ironing out some of the details on general excise tax exemptions or whatever, but we have now recently been meeting with a number of developers. There are a number of projects in the works. We think we're going to build great momentum. I personally anticipate this was a 5-year plan on extending this program. We think it's getting traction. It's one in which the city incentivizes private developers to create housing in many of the apartment units that you see around the city. There are 7,000 in the urban core, some 3,500 have been declared ghetto-like, that they're there, right there with infrastructure all around. The city is getting back into the private activity bond business. We've talked about that. It's taken us 2 years to set that up. Come next month in December, I think we'll be ready to start to name developers on our first project.
We're going to have so much more on this story coming up on later editions of H&N. We also have a story published right now on your Hawaii News Now digital platforms.